Alright, people, so I'm here with your Smackdown review, and this show just got off. What sucked, the matches were short as hell. The matches were also pretty much jobber matches. I mean, it just was a terrible fucking show. So first I want to talk about the Bryan and Miz shit that happened on Talking Smack last week, because they've been making a pretty big deal out of this. So I actually kind of liked it. You know, Miz actually cut a pretty good promo there on Bryan last week. Um, and the only problem I had with it was how Bryan walked away like a pussy. Oh, because his feelings were hurt. What is he, a fucking girl? What is he, fucking 6 years old? I mean, I didn't like that part. And I also didn't like how Shane this week was like, oh, you provoked, you were correct in what you said, but you provoked Miz. What do you mean provoked? So it's fucking Bryan's fault for Miz's reaction? That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. So I did not like that. But overall, I kind of like the feud. I kind of like the promo there by Miz. I just would have preferred Bryan not to walk away. And Shane saying, oh, it's your fault for what Miz said is just fucking ridiculous. It's kind of like political correctness. I mean, it's stupid. So then we have Miz and Ziggler cutting a promo to begin the show. Thought it was a pretty decent promo, some good back and forth. You know, Miz seems pretty passionate there from what he's saying. Kind of liked his promo there, and you know, Ziggler comes out and has a little bit of a promo there as well. So I thought it was a pretty decent way to start the show off with a little promo between the two guys there. I thought it was pretty good. You know, Miz says Ziggler only wants to be, or Ziggler says Miz only wants to be famous. Well, you know, most superstars, you know, actually want to be good wrestlers or whatever the fuck. So I mean, it was a pretty good promo there, pretty good back and forth. And I think, you know, Miz has been cutting some, you know, the last 2 weeks here, this week and last week, it has actually cut some pretty good promos. So I kind of like it there, you know, what they've been doing with Miz. I don't know why they didn't fucking further anything with Bryan. I mean, Bryan didn't even say anything to Miz this week, which I didn't like. I mean, they just did a big thing last week, and now Bryan's not even there to talk to Miz. He's in one backstage segment. I mean, what the fuck is that? But overall, I thought the promo was decent. And then after that, the show pretty much went into the shitter, because we get the Hype Bros defeating... Who did they fucking defeat? I didn't even write who they defeated. They defeated some team. But I must have just forgot to write who they defeated. But whatever the fuck, they defeat some team, and it was a shitty jobber match. It was 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. And for anybody who doesn't know yet, I'm doing this thing where I keep track of the length of the matches, because I always come on here and say, oh, this match was short as hell, this match was short, whatever the fuck. So now I know exactly how long the match is. And at the end of the show, I will go over how many matches were 0 to 5 minutes long, 5 to 10, 15 to 10 to 15, 15 to 20 minutes long. And I will also go over the total time that the match is made up, and also the average minutes per match. So I will go over that at the end of the review here. But anyway, this match fucking sucked. It was a shitty jobber match, and it was 0 out of 5 stars here. Just a fucking waste of time. You know, and the Hype Bros are so fucking ridiculous. This Mojo Rawley guy, it's a fucking disgrace that I have to watch him every week. It's a fucking disgrace that this retard is on my television screen every week. It's a fucking disgrace this guy is even in this company, let alone on a fucking show I have to watch him on every week. I mean, this guy he does the most basic moves ever, and he's terrible. He's a fucking terrible wrestler. And he runs around like a fucking 5-year-old. I mean, he has more energy, you know, than my fucking dog that I just got. Fucking like 6 months old. It's a ton of energy. That's like Mojo Rawley, running around all the place, acting like a fucking 5-year-old. I mean, it looks so dumb. So then we have Styles defeating Apollo Crews, and once again, a fucking jobber match. Look at Apollo Crews, another NXT guy wasted. And I don't know, wasted, because I don't know how much talent he has, because we haven't really seen a lot of them. But the point is, they bring all these NXT guys up, and most of them they just turn right into jobbers. And it's just pointless. It's like in NXT, they were champion for a long time, or they were main eventing in NXT. Then they bring them up to the main roster, and then they just waste them. So we get Styles defeating Crews in a match that was 4 minutes and 30 seconds long. And also, by the way, I think I forgot to mention this in my Raw review, but I do not count commercials towards the match time, because it's a fucking commercial. It doesn't count towards the match time. I don't know, you know, if it's supposed to or whatever the fuck, but no, when I'm watching commercials, that does not count towards the match time. So this match was not that good. There was a couple of sloppy moves in here. Once again, it was a jobber match. There was no way Apollo Crews is going to beat Styles. Like every fucking match was a jobber match, pretty much. So it was just not a good match. Short match, and I gave it a half star out of 5. It was not a good match. Then we have this Heath Slater doing a home interview. It was kind of funny. They put a few decent jokes in there. But I thought it could have been a lot funnier. They had the potential to be a lot funnier. Like I said, it was kind of funny. There was a few things in there that were funny, but it never really made me laugh that much or whatever the fuck. They could have made a lot of hillbilly jokes or redneck jokes, whatever the fuck, but it was a little funny. There were some nice lines in there, but I thought it could have been a little bit funnier. So that's all I gotta say about that. Then we have Alexa Bliss and Natalya defeating Becky Lynch and Naomi, and another just boring, pretty much pointless Divas tag match here. There was a botch in there. I wrote there was a botch in there. It was 4 minutes and 20 seconds long, and just a pretty much waste of time. I mean, I'm so sick of the Divas division. It's fucking terrible. They're doing a 6-pack match there at the pay-per-view, which is I think it's a good idea, because it's kind of unique and shit. But I mean, doing just like a fucking tag match to build up to it is not a good idea, because Divas matches usually fucking suck, and this one did as well. So I mean, I wish that they just would have had. I wish the sooner they could have the match, the better, because building up to it is not going to be good really. So this was a 0 out of 5 star match. It's not a good match. Then we have Slater and Rhino defeating the Headbangers. This match was 2 minutes and 55 seconds long. So they bring back the Headbangers from the Attitude Era, and they have a fucking 3-minute match, and then they lose in 3 minutes to a jobber tag team, pretty much. Which, I think the Slater-Rhino tag team has the potential to be actually pretty good. They could be pretty funny. So I kind of like them. But, like I said, this match was just short. It was boring. And it's another match I'm going to give 0 out of 5 stars. Then we have Kane coming out and choke slamming a guy in his fucking underpants. I mean, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be good? Because it was neither of those. It was a random ass thing, and it just, what is this supposed to do towards any storylines or whatever the fuck? This random ass segment that just made no fucking sense. Some guy just fucking strips down into his underwear. I mean, what the hell is this? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, just totally pointless. Then we have the main event. Corbin and Ambrose ends in a disqualification. Thought this was another boring match. It was 9 minutes and 5 seconds long, so at least it was, you could argue, a decent amount of time here for the main event, but still I thought the match was boring. Just a lot of typical moves, nothing good. From what I remember, the crowd was pretty dead during the match. Then we get Ambrose at the end, also beating up Styles and Corbin there. So yeah, not a good main event. I think I gave it half star. I'm gonna give it a half star out of 5. So not a good match. And then, like I said, this is what I'm gonna do at the end of my Raw and SmackDown review. So I wrote down here, we had 4 matches that were 0 to 5 minutes long, and 1 match that was 5 to 10 minutes long. See, that's fucked up. You can't. So 4 out of their 5 matches were under 5 minutes. That's the problem with the company right there. You got 4 out of the 5 matches under 5 minutes. So we had in total on a 2-hour show 23 minutes and 40 seconds of wrestling. That's it on a wrestling show. So less than 25% of the show is fucking wrestling. I mean, that's fucking sad right there. I mean, you might have had more commercials than you had of fucking wrestling. And you had a whopping 4.7 minutes per match. Wow. Yeah, that's really impressive. See, this is why the shows are fucking sucking. This is why the matches are fucking sucking. You might have talented wrestlers, but if you only give them 4.7 minutes per match, it's really hard to put on a good match in only 4.7 minutes. So this show was just terrible. You had one good, decent promo between The Miz and Ziggler. Everything else after that was just so fucking shitty. I mean, it was fucking horrible. Oh yeah, I also thought the Slater home interview was kind of funny too, but I mean overall this show was pretty fucking shitty. So overall I'm gonna give it a star out of 10. I mean they really gotta pick their shit up. They gotta give these matches long enough time. They can't give him fucking under 5 minutes per match. That's just pathetic. So there you go, people. There's your SmackDown review.